Marriage is such an important and an integral part of any society. Equally so is your wedding day, something that you will never forget. See, I've always said that there are people that are working behind the scenes to make sure that your day is extra, extra special. And this is why we've invited such a lady that works behind the scenes. She takes something and she turns it into something that is so beautiful that you and your family and your partner will never forget. Today I'm sitting with a businesswoman, an inspired lady who motivates and inspires. I'm sitting with Zama today. Zama, how are you, madam?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure. And in fact, I was saying to you just now, that coming into the shop, walking into the shop, you are greeted with so much warmth.
Yeah.
How do you get your people, not even just for you, but for your people, your entire staff is so warm? How do you create such a culture in your store?
You know, weddings are a beautiful thing. It's all about excitement, joy, happiness. So from the beginning of your shopping, we want you to feel the excitement, because weddings are beginning of your forever, beginning of your, it's actually the first day of your marriage. So we try to give you the experience and the comfort that you are at the right place. And I don't know, we are just happy people ourselves.
So you make sure that you hire people who are inspired just as you are.
They have to be. I always say to my staff, you know what, I don't want you to come here and be limited and be in a box. I want to see you flourish and be yourself. And being yourself, it's the person that you are that is happy, that is excited, that is looking forward to good news. It's a positive attitude also. So I think that's what I look for also when I get my staff, because I want someone who's going to overflow with positivity, honestly.
And you do get that when you look into the store.
Really?
But there's something that I've always wanted to ask you. So being in the, is it wedding industry? You call it the wedding industry.
Yeah.
You deal with so much pressure. There's pressure of you making sure that you give this person the magic that they want to anticipate. How do you get that right? How do you make sure that you work under pressure to make sure that you make this day a special day?
Sure. You know what, the pressures of wedding planning, I once listened to a couple of years ago, they did analysis of the most difficult jobs in the world. And do you know what was the top most difficult job? Wedding planning.
Got you.
Imagine there's accountants, there's everyone, but wedding planning is the most toughest. So with that being said, the pressure is because we want everything to come perfect.
Yes.
To everything must just come together well, everything. Because people spend so much money. You can't spend so much money and be miserable the whole day. So it's supposed to be, every little girl dreams of a perfect wedding day. So you wait 20, 30, 40 years, depending on when you get married, for that specific day. And remember, in our lives, weddings are one of the few days that we celebrate.
Yeah.
It's your birthdays, it's your weddings, if you're graduating, but weddings is one of the greatest days. So the pressure of getting that one day perfect is enormous. And it's from some brides are difficult, some brides are not. We import our dresses. Some dresses don't come on time. We have
Is it still fair to say bridezilla, or is you don't use that term anymore?
I think my brides won't like me after that. But you know what? At the end of the day, we do get people behave differently under pressure, and I think the biggest pressure when you're a bride is that everyone is looking at you, and you also have certain expectations for yourself. And for me, my mom is very difficult. So if my mom is difficult, it means on the wedding day, she wants everything chop. So with that pressure from the family, from your in-laws, yes, the in-laws and everything. So as a bride yourself, to get to the state of being bridezilla, it's because there's so much going on around you. There's so much expectation from yourself, from the groom, from the families, and you just want everything to come out okay. So to some degree, you get to understand that why they are bridezillas. And some people will tell you, I have this one moment and I must do it right. If I don't get it right, I can't remake. There's no remakes.
Yeah. So it comes with that pressure. And I like what you're saying, that you are not normally a bridezilla.
Yeah.
Just this event
just this moment, you
turns
just...
you into that. Because you want everything to be special and memorable. But just take us through this. Where are we now, and what is the name of the shop that you've created?
Okay. Here it's called Bequest Brides, and Bequest means legacy. It all comes from an inspiration that we live. Someone once said, you are not meant to live forever, but you must live something that will live forever. So many people create businesses that even fourth generations will still look after the business. So that was the inspiration behind starting this business. Hence it's called Bequest. It means legacy. It means it's going to be left for the children and the children and the grandchildren. And my happiness would be when I'm gone, so many years gone, looking down and seeing my fourth generation still having Bequest as a bridal shop. And bridal shops, even your Kleinfeld, the biggest shops, the families will tell you that my grandmother got married from a dress from here, my mother got married from a dress from here, and my mom. So it's legacy on its own. The type of business that we are doing, it just keeps coming back, and it's a place where people find comfort and want to continuously be in that space.
Sure, that is so powerful. And I think what you're saying now is that not only the shop itself is something of a legacy, but just coming here and buying your dress here is something that you can share with your kids, and hopefully with their kids they can come here and shop.
Exactly, and the grandchildren. You can have 3-4 generations shop in the same shop, because it's that kind of a legacy that we are building in a wedding shop. And that's why you find the warmth and the joy, because we want you to have an experience that when you come back or you refer someone else, you just want nothing but the same treatment that you got the first time you did. So it's very important for us to be always happy and warm.
Let's share something with our guests. So, I'm fortunate enough that Madam Zama and I know each other from when I came
married with your very sweet wife.
Okay, well, my wife is sweet. Before I get into trouble. But what I liked about them, this is why we got back here, because you've created such an experience with us that we'll never forget. It was just unfortunate that I wasn't allowed in the shop. So I had to sit outside and wait for them to do their job. But why, when you're thinking of expanding the business, not have a shop that's just situated outside, it's just for the male counterparts, so that you give off that family experience, both the grooms here and the bride.
I knew, well, from where I come from, I'm surrounded with entrepreneurship. My mom is just a businessman, a businesswoman. Actually, I was saying my mom, but I was thinking about my dad. So my mom is a business person. For as long as I remember, we've been selling in my home. We've been selling from ice cream, and then when I was in high school, I was selling out packet chips and sell them at school. And for something interesting is that it wasn't even because I wanted to make ends meet. It was just in my blood, because we were staying where I went to school. The school is close to very close to where the teachers stay. So we stayed in the teachers' quarters. So for me, it wasn't even for transport money. It wasn't even because my mom couldn't make ends meet. My mom was just okay. But I just felt like I need to sell something. So at some point in my life, when I was working for someone, I felt like, you know what, at 35, I gave myself a challenge. At 35, I don't want to be working. And from that moment, I think I was about early 20s, when I put that goal for myself, that at 35 years, I'm not going to be working for anyone. So it was a matter of, if you're not going to be working for anyone at 35, what is it that you're going to do to get to that space? And to be honest with you, I had never been to a bridal shop. I had never been to, or even think of bridal shops as something that I would like to own. It was just that desire that I want to get into business, and I wanted to do something that will make me excited. Little did I know that my path will cross with wedding gowns. No, I wasn't. I was actually preparing to get married, and I met this lady. She was a young black lady in Durban. She owned a bridal boutique. She was selling wedding gowns.
You can't say her name. You don't want to say her name.
What's her name? Nomfundo.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
Nomfundo.
It
was KP something bridal in Durban. Actually, I went all the way to Durban because I found her online. So when I saw her, if she's watching, I saw myself in her, because she was in the mid-30s, young black lady, and I thought, if she can do it, so I can also do it. And her prices was very good. So I started asking her, so if I can buy from you and sell in Joburg, and would you supply me? Oh, she offered me a deal to supply me, and I was like, okay, this is the beginning of something. And to be honest with you, my very first dresses I bought from her, I took a loan from ABSA. I think it was 26,000. It was a personal loan, and I ordered 5 dresses. But I'll tell you what, if you're watching this and you want to have a business, please don't wait for a perfect moment. If you wait for a perfect moment, you're gonna wait forever. Because when it comes to business, I jumped into this, I didn't even know what I was doing. And if I knew what I know today, I probably wouldn't have. Sometimes jumping blindfoldedly is what will make you push you. Because then, personally, I hate failing. Failing is part of learning, but at the end of the day, you don't want to be shutting down and sitting with dresses. So you need to thrive to make it so that you don't end up at that position. So when I bought the 5 dresses, I didn't even know what I was doing. Looking back, I'm thinking how stupid I was. But look at where I am today. And I learned a lot on the way. Most of the time you learn a lot. You must just be open-minded to learn. But to cut a long story short, 6 years later, we started in a small room. 6 years later, we're in a huge, big shop that has over 200 dresses. We started with five dresses. And at some point with that 5 dresses, when I opened the shop for the first time, when I hanged them, there were literally 5. And I was like,
When you started,
yeah. And I was like, who's gonna buy from 5 dresses? It's not gonna work. So then I went to friends and I asked friends to give me their dresses that they got married in so I can increase my stock. And luckily I had very good number of friends that gave me, and I built from 5 dresses to what we have today.
That's an inspiring
And we've done almost 1,000 weddings, if not more than 1,000 weddings in the 6
Mine
years.
included.
With yours included. we've done so well.
If you're sitting at home and you've got a writing pad, I think what Zama was trying to say is that you don't need to have it put together when you begin. Just make sure you start. Even if it's something that's very small, you are going to
Just
turn
start.
it into something big.
And along the way, when you start with what you have, improvise.
Yeah.
Improvise. Don't wait for funding, please.
Yes.
I was never funded by any entity, because at the end of the day, funding will want so many things that you end up not being able to get. And does it mean your dreams must go down because you are not funded? No. So at the end of the day, start with what you have. I always say, you use what you have to get what you don't have, and you build from there. And it's
Use
just
what you have to go and get what you don't.
exactly.
That's important.
You don't have to have millions. You don't have to be. But right now, the stock that is here is worth millions. But when I
You
started,
didn't
I
have-
never had millions.
That's important.
So I started with 20-something thousand, which is what the bank could give me at the time. And I used that to get where I am. And when I had 5 dresses and I realized it's not gonna work, I had to think fast. What's gonna happen? What can I do?
What's my next step?
Yes, what can I do to make it work? Because now I'm here. And for me, what haunted me was that I couldn't even take those dresses into a storeroom, because then I've wasted 26,000. So that 26,000 kept me going. The room I was renting was costing about 5,000 rand. I was terrified. I had never had to pay rent for that money. And I felt like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? But at the end of the day, my goal was to every month to at least sell something or rent a dress to get that 5,000, and get the 5,000 for the staff who was working, because she was getting paid 5,000. So having said that, my goal was to just get at least 10,000 every month, because the other thing that business people go into, they want to make profit from the first day.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like
That's
that.
correct.
So you must go in there and know that the first 3-6 months, depending on what you are doing and how big your business is, 3-6 months, you are not getting anything from
Give
the business.
yourself that space
Give
to
yourself,
grow.
exactly. And before you start, you must prepare your mind that not by tomorrow you're going to be having millions. So you don't put yourself under pressure, because some people feel like, but I'm not making money. Yes, you're not making money. Remember, when you start a business from scratch, no one knows who you are.
Yeah.
The other challenge is to tell people who you are,
To create the clientele.
and it's harder because even your friends and family, this I have to say, when you're starting a business, the network marketing encourages people to start from family and friends. I disagree, because those people, family and friends, as much as they love you, I don't know what happens when you start a business. They just feel like, no, she's okay, she's gonna be fine. The people who are gonna support you are the strangers. And to protect your heart from being hurt, don't expect those people.
I was about to say, so the expectation from your family and friends, because I remember it as well when I started my own business.
Yeah.
I thought my family and friends are going to be there, but it's people that I didn't know that supported.
People who don't know you actually respect you more. So also it breaks a lot of people, and it breaks a lot of friendships and a lot of relationships. Your best friend will be knowing that you are having a bridal shop. She will come and tell you that, oh, I went to this other shop, I got a beautiful dress. And you're like, how? So at the end of the day, don't expect that support, because when it doesn't come, then it's going to demoralize you. Put yourself together as a package and go to the people who don't know you. Those people will accept you, will respect you, and will trust your brand. And funny enough, family will come back. Friends will come back later. Then like, oh, my friend has a bridal shop, you can go to my friend. And at the beginning, they were not even believing in you. So don't kill yourself by thinking, okay, I have 5 friends.
So
they're all getting married. That's why it's not going to work like that.
But then speak to me about the importance of having that network base. How do you get to speak to people? How do you make your business accessible to other people?
Yeah.
How do you start networking and getting yourself, the support that you need for your business to grow?
I think for an entrepreneur to have a business in this day and age, you don't even need to network to anyone, because there's a huge market sitting on social media. For me, when they shut down Facebook and people were like, yeah, they must shut down forever, people are no longer in contact. You know what? Facebook and your Instagram made this business what it was, because I did not have to rely on connections or knowing whoever. I just had to go put my product on the internet and let people decide. And those people come to you because they've seen you in the space. You've taken a few pictures and they're like, okay, let's come and see what she has. And before you know it, Facebook, your Facebook, Instagram, they've changed a lot of lives. And I will encourage entrepreneurs not to take it for granted, not to take it lightly, and not to feel like, Facebook is for bullying and whatever. There's so much positivity on those platforms than negativity. Negativity is going to be there always, anyway. So don't make the negativity cloud what could come out of it. I've encouraged so many young people, some of them, they come here looking for a job, and I said to them, you don't need a job, not in this day and age. Go find a product, package it, sell it online.
Put it out there.
Put it out there. And you put it out there online, everyone is connected to everyone. Now I get references. Now I get people who came because they saw someone. But from the beginning, there was nothing, and the internet, the Facebook, the social media, honestly made this business, especially in terms of marketing.
I like what you say, and basically what you're motivating is for people to be entrepreneurs and to run their own businesses and to have their own businesses. But let me ask you another question. We are just fresh now from a pandemic that has taken so many things from so many people. How has your business done and survived under such a crucial time in our history?
To be honest with you, with any situation comes an opportunity. So
situation
comes an opportunity. So if you're gonna look at any situation and think, oh my goodness, siyafa, then that's what's gonna happen. You must look at a situation and look for positive, and look for, there's always a silver lining. It's just that because of the commotion that happens, everyone is focusing on what's falling apart, and there's so many opportunities that came with COVID. Like for instance, the online business is growing so much, and that doesn't need you to pay rent.
No, definitely.
So if you are selling these chairs, you just set up a page and you have a warehouse where you keep them or where you make them, and you post, and people are thank you. So in every situation, look for an opportunity. There's always an opportunity. People made millions selling masks selling. So as an entrepreneur, sanitizers, yes. As an entrepreneur, you wait for an opportunity because entrepreneurs give solution.
Yeah.
When there's a
When
problem,
there's a problem,
you give a
Look
solution.
to an entrepreneur and he'll give you a solution.
So-
Or she, for that matter.
And as an entrepreneur yourself, in every situation, look how to solve problems. You'll be amazed at how many opportunities are there to make money. So for me, with COVID, I guess that's the positive attitude, firstly, that I had towards the situation. And some people will come and say, yo, how are you surviving? Because there are no weddings anymore. And to be honest with you, I actually did so much better during COVID than I did.
Are you
And there were less
serious?
weddings. It's
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah. So
It's
during
crazy.
COVID,
During
you
COVID, I did,
thrive.
yes. And I had to think of ways like photo shoots because now people are not gathering to have a wedding.
Those
But
big weddings.
yes, but people still have a groom and a bride who's wearing a dress and a suit. So I had to put a package together that is a photo shoot. I brought my friend who's a makeup. I brought another friend who's a photographer and myself with the dress. So we charged a package just to keep going. You need to think on your feet. You need to, when every door shuts, another
There's
door
something
opens.
that opens.
If you look at this one door that this one is closed, you're gonna sit down and cry
Yeah.
instead of thinking of a solution to move forward. And that's what a lot of people do. I don't think so many business needed to shut down. I don't necessarily think they needed to shut down. However, well, I'm not in their shoes.
Yeah,
But
you
at
know
the,
what they're
yes,
facing.
but at the end of the day, like I'm saying, with every situation, whether it's good, whether there's a party, when people are going to a party, think of an opportunity. What opportunity does that party have? Can I sell something in that party so that I can make money? So even when there's a pandemic, what is the opportunity in the pandemic?
That comes with that.
Exactly.
That's very inspirational.
So people must just look deeper, not just look at the situation. There's so much more greatness that will come, especially on the West situation. The West situation are the ones that brings the best in people.
Correct. I was about to say, see, when you're going through difficulties, that's when now you must really yourself must come forward and you must reveal yourself.
Of course.
That's something
of
that's
course.
very, very important. So in your store, you currently also have another nail bar just
Yes.
above. Can you tell us
Yes.
just a little bit about that?
Okay.
Just about that.
With the nail bar, my sister is also, we are all business people at home. I've encouraged my sister, I'm the first one. I've encouraged the two after me to also leave work.
Yeah.
But they're doing well, so they're
They are
happy.
also entrepreneurs.
Yes, the other one is making clothes and this one is doing the nail bar. So one of the reasons we have the nail bar here is because collaboration. This space is very expensive. I couldn't have afforded to pay the rent on my own. But when we collab with my sister, she pays for the other space, I pay for the other space. So when you are doing business, just be careful, look for collabs that you can do so that you can make your business go longer
That's
and save money also.
Yes, and that's an important part. No, Madam, thank you so much. I think it was a huge pleasure. Please, maybe as a last bite at the cake, just tell the people where can they find your store, where can they find your social media platforms, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. We are on Facebook, Instagram. We have a website. Our shop is Bequest Brides, BEQUEST. We specialize in wedding dresses, shoes, flower girl dresses, all that has to do with bridal. We're still moving to the groom side, but we're going to get there. So you can come here. We are in Deco Park in Northlands, in North Riding, in the Randburg area basically. So it's easier when you look for Randburg, North Riding in Randburg. But we're looking forward to seeing more brides and getting more brides get married. We love what we are doing. We're excited every time. You know, actually, we talk about it with the staff. Every time a bride sends us pictures, share pictures with us, it just feels like we've done our job.
Yeah, so they do sell it.
For months of preparing for the wedding, because some brides can get a dress a year before the wedding. But when we get the picture, we just feel like we've done our job. So we're looking forward to that.
Thank you so much. I think what we can take away from our talk today is that you don't need a lot to begin, but you need to begin in order for you to improve and to turn your business into something that's so big. So thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Success Challenge. My name has always been Balungu Motifa. I'm a power-packed professional motivational speaker and It's always an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to have you here with us. Please join us for our next episode of the Success Challenge. Thank you so much.